Module Overview. While talent, preparation, and confidence form the performer's foundation, audience engagement is the dynamic thread that transforms a performance into a shared, unforgettable experience. Module 9 focuses on the psychological, strategic, and expressive skills needed to connect meaningfully with an audience, handle feedback with emotional maturity, and evaluate performances for sustainable improvement. In this advanced module, you will master the art of reading the room, adjusting energy in real time, cultivating charisma, and harnessing audience psychology. Moreover, they will learn to interpret verbal and nonverbal audience reactions, respond to applause or silence with confidence, and integrate feedback both positive and critical into their performance evolution. Through this, you become adaptive, emotionally intelligent performers who thrive not only during rehearsals, but under the lights, pressure, and unpredictable nature of live audiences. Core themes and subsections 1. Understanding audience psychology and group dynamics. A. The audience as a collective entity. 1. Differences between individual listeners and group behavior. 2. Social cues, how one person's reactions influence others. 3rd. Cultural, age-based, and contextual influences on audience behavior. B. Attention span and emotional arcs. The first 10 seconds. Importance of immediate connection. 1. Peaks and valleys, designing performances with emotional rhythm. 2. Keeping attention through tonal variation, storytelling, and audience mirroring. C. Audience types and energy mapping. 1. Engaged versus passive versus resistant audiences. 2. Strategies for managing cold rooms, distracted spectators, or hecklers. 3rd. Reading group energy through eye contact, body language, and sound responses. 2. Techniques for live engagement. A. Non-verbal engagement. 1. Eye contact techniques, scanning versus direct gaze. 2. Using facial expressions, posture, and hand gestures to build rapport. 3. Moving with intentionality to shrink distance between performer and audience. B. Verbal engagement. First, rhetorical tools, repetition, rhetorical questions, inclusive pronouns, we, you. 2. Call and response and interactive prompts, in speeches or musical numbers. 3. Adjusting pace, diction, and volume for clarity and emotional resonance. C. Improvisation and real-time adaptability. 1. Responding to audience cues, laughter, silence, applause, with emotional agility. 2. Pausing for audience reaction, knowing when to hold space and not rush. 3rd. Mid-performance corrections, how to recover from a mistake or shift tone mid-delivery. 3. Managing feedback, constructive, negative, and praise. A. Emotional preparedness. 1. Detaching self-worth from performance outcomes. 2. Separating constructive critique from destructive criticism. 3. The power of vulnerability, receiving feedback with humility and openness. B. Post-performance feedback collection. Strategies for soliciting honest feedback. Surveys, peer reviews, anonymous cards. Listening without defensiveness or excuses. Asking clarifying questions to understand intent and gain insight. C. Turning feedback into fuel. 1. Categorizing feedback into immediate fixes, growth points, and subjective opinions. 2. Creating an action plan for targeted improvement. 3. Celebrating wins and recognizing patterns of progress. 4. Self-evaluation and peer review techniques. A. Video playback and reflection. 1. Watching oneself with the intent to learn, not judge. 2. Marking moments of strength, weakness, hesitation, or brilliance. 3. Tracking body language, facial expressiveness, and timing. B. Peer evaluation frameworks. 1. Structured rubrics for giving and receiving peer feedback. 2. Feedback circles and constructive group critiques. 3rd. Practicing I noticed, I felt, and I suggest feedback styles. See growth metrics and performance journaling. 1. Creating personal rubrics across confidence, clarity, energy, and expression. 2. Journaling after every performance to reflect on inner and outer responses. 3. Using scores, visuals, and affirmations to track long-term performance growth. 5. Resilience and confidence. Maintenance. Post-performance. A. Rebounding from disappointment. 1. Emotional processing tools. Debriefing, talking to mentors, reframing. 2. Avoiding over-identification with a single bad show. Self-compassion practices and bounce-back rituals. B. Internal versus external validation. 1. Cultivating intrinsic motivation and artistic purpose. 2. Learning to affirm oneself before relying on applause or compliments. Chapter: Evolving as a performer. A. Seeing each performance as data, not judgment. B. Embracing lifelong learning through humility, experimentation, and feedback loops. C. Becoming your own best coach through intentional reflection and discipline. Learning outcomes. By the end of Module 9, you will be able to A. Understand and analyze audience psychology to improve engagement. B. Adjust performance in real time based on audience feedback and energy. C. Maintain a strong presence and emotional regulation in the face of criticism or silence. D. Apply verbal and nonverbal tools to build trust, energy, and connection with listeners. E. Solicit, receive, and act on constructive feedback effectively. F. Conduct self-evaluation using advanced reflection tools. G. Support peer growth through structured evaluation techniques. H. Strengthen post-performance mental health, resilience, and confidence through personal rituals and mindset work. Practical tools and exercises. A. Audience energy mapping chart. B. Real-time reaction tracker. C. Feedback deconstruction. Template. D. Performance reflection journal. E. Self-evaluation. Rubric: 10 performance dimensions. F. Praise versus growth point sorting grid.